Good evening, everyone. This is Financial Literacy 101. I'm your host, Ross Swirl. And I just want to name a couple of things that I believe that you shouldn't do during a recession. Don't do these things during a recession. But first, before I get into the video, I want to point out something that a subscriber actually brought to my attention about the video I did earlier about free rent and $2,000 a month payment. And she said, during these times, people are not thinking about buying houses, people are not thinking about anything else except eating, food, and shelter. Now, granted, there is a large portion of the population that are worried about those very same things. Okay, they were about what I call the essential and vital things of life to sustain life. That's food, water, and then of course protection and shelter. Now, on the flip side of that, and not to negate or refute what she's saying, because that's very important, by the way. And she also stated that we should be looking to vote or petition some sort of legislation or something that we can do to the local, state, and federal governments so they can push this new stimulus payments every month. Okay, the $2,000 a month, $4,000 a month, etc. And I agree. Okay. In the video, just to put this information out really quickly, in the video, there's a certain target of information you're trying to get across. And with my channel, I like to give people the information first, and then how to combat the information for your profit. Because not everyone is in the same situation. Okay, not everyone is in the same situation. Okay, there is, take for instance, an arbitrary number like 60 million Americans have lost their job, and they're worrying about it. They're going to be homeless, worrying about food. This is a great tragedy. This is what you call COVID-19 recession. And things need to be done on a government level for all the years we've been paying taxes. For them, on the flip side, like a social society, okay, like a socialist society, is to now take care of us in our time of need. Now, don't think for 1 second there are not people out there who are going to benefit from any sort of extra money. People who still have their jobs working from home got the stimulus check. People are still looking for homes and cars, okay? I see people still buying Amazon stuff and Walmart stuff. People are still spending money, okay, regardless if it's with their stimulus check, with money they have saved up, their credit cards, etc. So with that being said, yes, you should do all you can to get this new package, this new stimulus payments pushed. But at the same time, this is also, unfortunately, again, I've said this before, unfortunately, this is the time to profit if you are in the right space. But let's not take away for the millions of Americans who are hungry, who are thirsty, and who are homeless, okay? Who are homeless. You should be doing our best to support them. Yes, I volunteer and I also donate. And if you have it within your ability to donate and volunteer in any capacity to help those who are hurting, then please do so. Okay, now, here are some of the things that you should not do during a recession. And if you don't know, let's look into two definitions of what I believe that a recession is, okay? Let's look into that. All right, right here it states, this is the basic, generic definition. Where you going? It says recession. In economics, a recession is a business cycle contraction where there is a general decline in economic activity. Recessions generally occur when there is a widespread drop in spending. Our most famous. Now, let's go over to what Investopedia says about what a recession is, okay? A recession is a macroeconomic term that refers to a significant decline in general economic activity in a designated region. It had been typically recognized as 2 consecutive quarters of economic decline as reflected by GDP, that's the gross domestic product, in conjunction with monthly indicators such as a rise in unemployment. However, the National Bureau of Economic Research, NBER, which officially declares recession, says Two consecutive quarters of decline in real GDP are not how it is defined anymore. The Ember defines a recession as a significant decline in economic activity spread across the economy lasting more than a few months. Normally visible in real GDP, real income, employment, industrial production, and wholesale retail sales. Okay. So basically, a lot is going on during a recession, but the one major thing that's going on is nobody is really spending money at the same level that they once were. Okay. During this COVID-19 recession, don't co-sign for nobody. Do not co-sign for anyone. Good evening, Wadner and Steven. Good evening, everyone. Do not co-sign alone. This is a very risky time to be putting yourself in more debt because the person you're co-signing for, we don't know the state of the union. We really don't know where this may take us. And we're going to come out of it, but you don't want to come out of it worse than what you are right now or you were before. So let's keep that, let's keep that in the front of our brains, okay? Now, as we talked about houses earlier, like this is a great time because interest rates are below 2.5%. They're 2.5, 2.59, etc. Okay, so they're the lowest they have ever been in history, which is absolutely marvelous for those fortunate Americans who are in great position to do this. Do not take out an ARM. Okay, that's your adjustable rate mortgage. Do not take out an ARM because ARMs blow up just like credit cards. You know how like you will get into a promo of some sort with a credit card or a loan and they say this is adjustable, not a fix, meaning they will offer you some glorious, some really tantalizing and teasing interest rates. Like, oh, for the first year, 0 interest, but the next year is going to be 24% interest. In ARMs, they're not quite that high. You can come into an ARM about 1.5, 2%, sometimes even lower at 1%. And then those ARMs can actually balloon up to 5, 6, 7%. I have seen it before. Okay, one of my worst interest rates on, I believe, a car when I was around 20-some years old. I knew nothing about finances. I think I was paying 12%, 12 to 13% on a car, was astronomically high. I would have never paid that off. I probably would still be paying that off today. Okay, and this would have that loan was an ARM. It just would have been outrageous. So stay away from adjustable rate mortgages. That is what you call a ARM. Also during this time, I know some of you are going in debt on your credit cards, and if you can, slow your spending, slow your debt. You're increasing in debt. Please do not take on new debt. I know a lot of us cannot wait and wait and idly sit by while the government decided they're going to even offer new legislation in a new bill that's going to be this $2,000 a month for Americans 16 years and over, and for married couples at $4,000. We don't want to idly sit by. If we have a credit card and we have credit, we want to go out and we want to buy the things that we need. Now, for those of you who have blew past your stimulus check, because it was a very low amount, it wasn't a lot of money at all. Please, your credit card is your last resort in conjunction with taking money out of any retirement account, okay? Your 401k and also your IRAs. Your credit card, your retirement account are your last resorts, okay? Your last resorts. And if anything, don't take on any new debt. Don't take on any new debt. I would just rather you probably spend a couple $100, get food in the refrigerator on your credit cards, okay? On your credit cards. And hopefully we can get some legislation passed and we can start getting more money in our pockets, okay? There's a lot of people, not just people with regular jobs, but people who are small business owners are hurting, okay? And big businesses are hurting too, don't get me wrong. They may have some capital that they're diving into, their reserve capital for times like this, but a lot of them didn't have reserve capital because, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, A lot of businesses, whether they're small, medium, or large, they are operating off of debt. We need to understand that Nixon changed a lot of the way America works when it comes to finances, and he switched from backing the dollar by gold to backing the dollar by debt. All right, so what else should you not do? Now, this is psychological. You know how a lot of us, we're at work, we complain about every single thing, okay? But a lot of you are still working. There's a lot of people not working. There's a lot of people still are working. They're working from home. They're working limited hours, but nonetheless, you still have money coming in. This is not the time. This is not the time to take your job for granted. Because you know what? They say, you know what? I have 60 million Americans. I have 60 million Americans without jobs. You crying about that? You're crying about the copier being broke? Why didn't you replace the cartridge? Like the littlest things that you could be worrisome or I like complaining about. Now, if you got valid concerns on your job, then yes, do a formal complaint. Do those things within the guidelines and policies and regulations of your job, but don't take your job for granted. Okay, there's plenty of people out there who will love your job. They would love your job. I'm telling you, at my job, we're still up and running every single day. And guess what? We have thousands of people applying for jobs. So if you're taking your job for granted, believe me, there's a couple of thousand people, if not more, in line waiting to take your positions. Now, I know a lot of you during this time, you want to capitalize off investment. But please, do not take risky investments. This is not the time to take risky investment. And I'm going to tell you something. Because I know I did a video, was it yesterday? Yesterday, I did a video of how I made $400 in 12 minutes by option trading. If you do not know what you're doing with option trading, it's very, very risky. And it's also time consuming. So if you are a novice or even intermediate investor, okay, please, you might want to learn up all you can before you get to option trading, because that is very, very risky. And also the stock market, as you've seen today, is very volatile. Yesterday it did good. Today it's doing bad. This is not the time to take up risky investment. If you have that extra cash to invest, I would definitely say you want to invest in government bonds, and corporate bonds being second, because corporations are doing horrible right now. So me, on Wealthfront, I switched my portfolio all the way down to one, which I'm mainly investing in bonds. Because right now I need something really steady with my investments. I don't want to see my investments teeter-totter up and down on like the EKG meter. I don't want to see that at all. I don't want that. So I lower down my intensity rating of my investment. So I'm investing into government bonds. Those right now, in my opinion, are the safest investments that you possibly. Because even if you go out and you bought real estate, you still need money to cover that loan. And right now, banks are not really giving out that many loans. Okay, you either got to show that you're still working and you have good credit and you have some assets, etc. Because they know that people are going to come to them, hands open, say, "Hey, can I get a personal loan? Hey, can I a business loan?" They say, "Well, how profited, how much profit is your business? Did your business make before COVID-19?" Something like, "We wasn't even profitable. Oh, I'm sorry, we can't help you because you don't even own your building." A lot of businesses do not own the building that they're in. They're renting the space. So they don't even have an asset. They don't even own the brick and mortar and the land that they're currently on. Okay? So the bottom line is this. You have to do everything to safeguard your funds at this current time till we get some sort of relief, either with the Emergency People Act. That's another name for the stimulus checks that will be coming every month. 2000 if you're 16 and over. If you're a married couple, $4,000. And if you have kids, up to 3 kids or disabled adult, they get $500 per. So Don't go out and blow all your money. We know that everything is on sale right now. Everything on sale, from the stock market is on sale, electronics is on sale, gas is greatly depreciated because there's this barrels of oil sitting around. Vegetables and fresh fruit are absolutely cheap right now because farmers are actually destroying a lot of their crops because people are not buying in the same volume that they once were. So this is a time where you need to make your finances and your budget recession proof. Okay. And when we come out this thing, do not forget what we went through. I was reading a story that Idris Elba wants to do once we get through this. Every year have an anniversary about COVID-19. We stay in the house for one day or something like that. So we remember this. Okay. And on the financial side, ladies and gentlemen, this should be the one thing that you said, you know what? I'm a definitely do emergency fund. If I don't invest, if I don't buy this, if I don't do that, I'm definitely going to have an emergency fund, because you should never want to go through this again. This is Financial Literacy 101. Learn money and be inspired. You guys take care of yourself.